I really like cheap pens because I love trying new pens. It makes me happy. However, not all pen purchases are satisfying. I'm Sarah from Ensign Insights, and I've been decluttering my lettering supplies, and now I'm more intentional about what pens I keep. But here's what happened. Look at these cheap brush pens I saw on Amazon for only $4. I didn't have high hopes, but I had to try them. I noticed this typo, premium quality. That's how you know these are premium quality pens, right? But let's see how they do for lettering. Am I going to keep them? Immediately, I can feel that they're off. The brush tip has no bounce. It's really squishy and floppy. It's already frayed. The E is terrible because this tip doesn't hold itself well. I have to really force it to try to get it to look good. Like, how is it already frayed? This $4 purchase did not make me feel good. I have purchased cheap brush pens before, and I thought these ones would be different, and let me show you why. In my cheapest brush pen video, I reviewed these Crafty Clownfish brush pens. They were like $8 for 40 pens or something. The brush tips are not great, and they don't make me happy. But look how they're different. The Crafty Clownfish ones have ridges near the tip, and these premium quality ones are smooth. They're kind of like Tombow brush pens. As a rule of thumb, I don't buy any cheap pens that have these ridges because there are tons of off-brands that sell these same markers just under different names. As I letter with these Crafty Clownfish, it looks like they're pretty good, right? And it definitely looks better than the premium ones. But what you can't see is that my hand actually has to work really hard to get it to look that way. It doesn't feel good as I'm lettering with it. So you can absolutely hand letter with these, but you may be causing yourself a lot more grief. Let me explain what I mean by brush pens feeling good. Brush pens should be bouncy and hold their shape. Here I'm using Marvy Color in brush pens, which are super bouncy. They bounce back against the page, which actually helps you to transition between strokes. In contrast, here's the cheap brush pen. It doesn't bounce back, so I have to work really hard to lift just right in all the right places. You can make it work, but you don't need to. Your brush pen should actually be helping you, making lettering easy for you, not causing you grief and making you feel like you can't do it. Lettering is hard enough to learn with a good brush pen. Don't make it harder on yourself by getting a cheap brush pen that doesn't work. I do have another video with all of the really good, really bouncy, helpful brush pens. I'll link that below. If you happen to have cheap pens and you're wondering what to do with them besides lettering, you can make fun backgrounds with them. I originally shared this in my video reviewing these pens, and that's about all I've ever done with them. They can also be used as watercolor, so if you want to use them for other art projects, I'm sure they'll be great. I just don't recommend them for lettering. Now, if you want to get brush pens for lettering, but you don't have a budget for anything expensive, hi, that was me when I started. You have better options than cheap brush pens that will make you want to cry. Here are 3 different options depending on your budget. First, Pentel Touch brush pens. These brush pens aren't technically cheap, but wouldn't you rather spend $15 to $20 to get pens that will feel good and last forever? Like, I'm not kidding, maybe forever. I've had my set for 4 years and they still work as well as the day I got them. And I use them a lot. All right, second, you can get my book, Handlettering for Beginners. Currently on Amazon, it's less expensive than a pack of pens. And then use Crayola markers or whatever marker you already have. If you can't find Crayola where you live, I'm sure you have some cheap kid markers that have the squishy tip. Try them out for lettering. This is my best recommendation for a cheap brush pen that's actually going to make you feel good. And no, it's not technically a brush pen, but it really does work. And third, use a pencil and do faux calligraphy. Seriously, a pencil. You can use any pen too for faux calligraphy. If you really don't have the budget to buy brush pens, you can still learn lettering. These worksheets I'm using are for my book again, and I'll link that below. Or if you want to see my faux calligraphy tutorial along with other hand lettering basics, check out this playlist right here. Moral of the story, don't buy the cheap brush pens just because they're cheap. Know what you're getting yourself into. I did return these premium quality brush pens and I got my $4 back so I can spend it on pens that will make me happier. Thank you so much for watching this video. I'll see you next time.